All right. Hey, so we got a surprise one, sort of. Haven't seen you in quite a while, Alex. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm hanging in there, staying positive, and enjoying this quarantine life.
So why don't you first off introduce yourself, Bona's alum, baseball player, etc. So and finance major. So why don't you talk a little about yourself first, then we'll talk about what you're doing now.
Sure. So my name is Alex Schutz. I'm a class of 2019 graduate and a former student for Dr. Mahar and his finance classes. And I also played baseball, so that definitely took some time up with everything going on there. But yeah, so now I took a leap of faith and I decided to move to Puerto Rico. And I'm here in Puerto Rico, and I'm working for an online media company that called Consumers Advocate. And we're really just focused on bringing consumers, the best information there is out there, whether it's buying a new home, finding the right mortgage rate. In turn, you can find the best information on car insurance. You can find relative information on wedding rings, engagement rings. I mean, we really cover everything. And it's a great place to work. And when I first started, it was I think I was employee number 45 or something. In the time that I've been there for almost a year now, we've grown to a little bit over 100. Wow. So it's rapidly growing and super exciting industry, and I'm glad to be a part of it.
So I don't want to turn this into a business class topic. Where are most of your customers from, around the world, or?
Primarily, we target markets in the United States, but we are starting to get a little bit more of a global presence. Basically, I'm not sure if you're familiar with paid search in Google.
Okay, yeah, sure.
But that's basically what our company revolves around, bidding on keywords to, collect traffic for other partners to our website.
So what do you do? What is your role there?
My role is I'm on the finance team, the finance and accounting. I'm a business operations analyst, and I primarily work with the sales team, delivering them kind of like a weekly report on how they've been performing. I'm responsible for setting our team's quota goals. I'm responsible for, like Daniel Crosby said, forecasting is for weathermen, but my team is responsible, for forecasting, what events might happen in the future, et cetera. But it's been really fun. And I spend, most of my day in Excel, which is something that I love. I'm a total Excel nerd. I actually helped out a fellow Bona's classmate the other day.
Oh, did you?
An Excel problem, and it saved me some time.
Nice. Yeah. Finance person?
Yeah. Finance and accounting.
Okay. Very good. So I guess multiple things, but where within Puerto Rico, where are you living?
So I live in Dorado, Puerto Rico, which is about 30 minutes west of San Juan.
Okay.
It's kind of like a smaller town. I guess you could say it's where most of the people coming from America, or the United States are living. So in some ways it's like more Americanized than any place I've been in the US. And then in other ways it's like, oh, okay, I'm really out in, a different area. I think there's like a McDonald's, Wendy's, Popeyes, like within, a mile from my house. So it's more or less the same, with a little bit difference in weather.
Yeah, a little. So, and the ground shakes a little.
Yeah.
So, many things I want to talk about. I guess super fast, just because I'm always curious and love to hear how people move from team sports to something else. So what are you doing now? Are you playing? Are you doing anything to keep in shape? What are you doing in that regard?
I'm not playing baseball now. Baseball is kind of one of those, weird sports where you need 18 guys to play. So you can't really,
I didn't know there were teams down there. I had no idea. Yeah.
Well, there are teams, but, I played in college, and I was okay. I could fend for myself, but I'm going to be honest, some of the people down here are really, really, really talented. I've watched like a 12U practice, a 12 and under practice, and I was like, man, some of these kids are just so good. So I haven't
Jose Reyes laid a good foundation down there.
Right. I think Jose Reyes is from the Dominican Republic. But
I think so. I'm pretty sure
okay,
Jose Reyes is from Puerto Rico.
okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm pretty almost positive. Because the one time years ago, the Mets went back and played in Puerto Rico for him.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I always thought he was from the Dominican Republic, but you learn something new every day. But in terms of staying in shape, like I've never been a swimmer. I've always hated swimming, and I've never been a fan of running either. But
Oh,
I've been
oh, kill me
I
now. Kill me.
I kind of made a being near the ocean. I felt like I should start partaking in that, and I love to swim. I swim every day about 1.5 miles, 2 miles,
Really?
and
Nice.
I run probably about every other day for 3.5 miles or so. But that's kept me busy, and it's definitely helping me out through the quarantine. Fortunately, I live right next to the water, so I'm able to just walk right into the water and go for a swim and go for a run in my little close neighborhood, which a lot of people don't have access to. So I'm definitely fortunate for that.
Yeah. So I did look up. He was born in Puerto Rico.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Uh,
You got me.
yeah, yeah. Jose Reyes. Jose Reyes. Oh, that's a different Jose Reyes. So let's do this one.
Uh-oh.
So there was some Jose J. Reyes. He's a adjunct general.
Huh.
Well, I'm 99.5% sure he was.
Let's
So.
see if I can do it.
No, maybe not, because there he is with the Dominican Republic uniform on in a baseball game. Maybe he's not.
Yeah, he's born in Villa Gonzales, Dominican Republic.
Okay, you won. All right. So they played there. I know they played there, and they said at the time that I don't know.
Yeah,
Weird.
the Mets. I believe the Mets and the Marlins. I had bought tickets for the game. The Mets and Marlins were supposed to come down. I almost want to. Yeah, I almost want to say around this weekend.
Really?
Like a 3-game series or 4-game series, Marlins and Mets. And I had bought tickets, but clearly the circumstances.
Yeah. So how you've talked about stay at home, etc. So is it pretty much like here? I mean, is it how bad has the breakout the virus been there?
Well, the breakout in Puerto Rico has actually been controlled pretty well, and that's because the government has taken a really strict policy in terms of maintaining what they say here is quédate en tu casa. It means like stay in your house, and you see that everywhere, and that's been going on. I believe like my employer sent us home March 7th, I want to say. So they were very early on this, and even at work, if you were not feeling well, they're just like, go, get out of here, go. So I applaud Consumers Advocate and where I work. They were just sending people home early because they I guess they knew the severity of what it could be, and but Puerto Rico is taking it extremely seriously. Up until yesterday, actually, you had to even license plate cars were allowed to go out Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then the odds were allowed to go out Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday it was shut down for everyone.
Really? Wow.
They were throwing the idea of if you're caught out in public without a reason other than medical or gas or food, it was like up to 6 months of jail time and a $1,500 fine.
Wow.
So everybody stayed inside, and I guess the biggest issue here is the ventilators on the island. There aren't that many, and if you start getting a ton of people going into the hospitals here, it's not good news. So they've definitely done a really good job of. They shut the island down, not allowing anyone in, not allowing anyone out. But yeah, a little bit more aggressive.
So the other topic, which we've been, it seems like for 6 months now, I guess started in December, so not quite 6, but the earthquakes, tons of earthquakes down there. What's going on?
So, I mean, luckily for me, that's happening more in the southern part of the island near Ponce, and I guess maybe a little bit more southwest is where the epicenter is. But I mean, they're getting hit really hard, and it's you kind of think, okay, well, we went through about, I think it was something crazy like 200 earthquakes in in the month of January or December, like, and 80% of them were above, excuse me, a four magnitude or something crazy like that. And that part of the island got really torn up. Fortunately, in Dorado, we didn't have any structural damage, but I mean, it shook my house like nothing I had experienced before. And I grew up in Santa Cruz, California, near the San Andreas fault line. And maybe I was just young and didn't think anything of it, but the ones that we've been experiencing, especially last night, I mean, I'm like waking up, shaking my house, and I kind of hid underneath my desk, even though I know that it's probably not going to do much, but I tried to do something.
Something, sure. Yeah. I mean, they don't know. I mean, it's tough to predict these things. I mean, are you on fault lines, I take it there?
I'm not exactly sure. I know that there is some form of a fault line just north of me. I'm on the northern part of the island. I know that if an earthquake happens in that area, it's very serious because it's prone to tsunamis. As opposed to the southern part of the island, I don't think they get that true like scare of a tsunami coming their way. I don't think a tsunami's hit Puerto Rico for over 100 years now, knock on wood. But I will say, I mean, people here, like, you're involved with Bond Responds, and in Puerto Rico, it's almost like Puerto Rico responds. They had all of that trauma happen through Maria and other various natural disasters, but I wasn't there for Maria, but I was here for the earthquakes, and they were just, I mean, everybody was going down to that part of the island to help out, to give supplies, to lend a hand, to just do something. And, and you find that everybody here and almost in that island setting is looking out for each other. And it's a really nice feeling to have. Like, my neighbor's a veterinarian, and my dog was attacked on the beach. It was a terrible situation. And it was a Sunday, a Sunday afternoon.
By what? Just curious. Like another dog?
Dog, yeah. There's a little bit of a dog problem here. Stray dogs running around, but he's attacked by another dog. And I went over to my neighbor and I said, "Hey, what do we do?" And she's like, "Come with me." So she rushed him to her clinic, and operated on him right there. I mean, it was a Sunday at 6:00, and she did it in a heartbeat. She took me in her car. I mean,
was he okay? Was the dog okay?
Yeah, he's great. He's made a full recovery.
Okay.
What happened was, I guess it like degloved his back. So a dog's mouth has a lot of bacteria, and it can kind of get in there. And so they just wanted to make sure that everything's okay, but he's okay.
Well, good. That's good. So how is the recovery from Maria, the hurricane? I mean, is that done? I mean, again, we haven't heard much about that in a good year now.
Yeah. I mean, it's not done. Flying into Puerto Rico, as beautiful as this place is, I mean, this is one of the most beautiful places I've ever been, just naturally. I mean, you have the ocean, you have an area on the west side that looks like, a desert, and you have El Yunque National Rainforest. And, it's just beautiful, but flying in, when you fly into San Juan, you can look down and you'll still see some of the blue tarps on homes. And I have some colleagues that I work with where they still don't even have internet at their house. And it's been a long time. And, part of that is it's hard to repair things. Like, you have to take that into account. It's difficult to, help everyone, but also misallocation of where certain funds were going. And I think that's what people are most riled up about.
So yeah, I wasn't going to go there, but you went there. So what was that? Like, how, and probably most of the viewers don't have any idea what we're talking about. So short version, they found, 2 years after the fact, a warehouse jam-packed with supplies?
Yeah. And, they also found that warehouse. I believe they found that warehouse after the recent earthquakes.
Right. It was. Yeah.
The whole reason why everyone from San Juan, from 2-3 hours away, were driving down to Ponce and driving out there, was to give supplies and help people out. Very short story is, there are large warehouses with supplies, with diapers, with water, beds, pillows, anything you could imagine. And from what I've been told is that they were contracted, the owners of those warehouses were contracted by the government, and they were receiving a pretty solid check to keep everything in there. And the way that the people felt was that the owners of the warehouses didn't want to give out their supplies, because if they give out their supplies, they have nothing to make, and they won't receive income for it. Another way to look at, I mean, that's one way to look at it. Another way to look at it is, you know, I try to look at things from both sides. But another way to look at it is, look, we have a lot of people coming up to help. If we have another terrible natural disaster such as Maria, you know, we have all this stuff here. I don't want to say they don't want to waste it on the current circumstance, but you have to, you know, prepare ahead for the future.
Yeah.
So I can understand both sides, but what I can't understand is how that was a secret for so long. And that's, you know, that's part of some of the issues down here. But again, it's all up to speculation.
Yeah. Well, fascinating area. I hope at some point Bond Response can get down there on a better. Not wishing you guys a disaster. I want to come and just see the place. But yeah, no, it sounds like you have a nice setup where you are, and you know, keep going, keep swimming, keep running, and keep excelling, literally.
Right. No pun intended.
Yeah. Well, no, it was intended. Awesome. Well, thank you. Anything you want to say? Anything else?
No, I will say it sounds crazy, but I am missing the cold a little bit. It's
Really?
hot down here, and I know that might be hard for you to hear.
Yeah, I'm not missing it.
I
I wouldn't miss it, I don't think. Yeah. Yeah. Well, thanks so much, Alex.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Yep.